Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you are new. For those of you that are new, my name is Anna and this is At Home with Anna. Today we're going to talk about my indoor plants. We're moving indoors. It is so hot. I am unmotivated to be outside. Maybe I'll get more motivated as we approach cooler days, but for now we're going to concentrate on some indoor plants. We purchased this around Mother's Day from the outdoor section of Lowe's, and there are several different plants inside here. I know that we have a pato that is starting to trail. There are 3 polka dot plants in here. A begonia, a wax begonia right here in the center. There are also a couple of different ivies in here. The English ivy, which is so pretty. The English ivy, and then the arrowhead plant right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. But they have all gotten so big, the pot is overcrowded. I know that this soil is super compact because I'm having to water it so much. And some of the leaves are starting to get stressed on the polka dot plants, but look how big they've gotten. So I have purchased some just regular terracotta pots. I have those out in the garage. So we're gonna take this out and we're gonna try and replant these. I have a little bit of soil, potting soil, and I'm hoping it's enough for these plants. The pots are not that big. The pots are not meant to be their forever home. I didn't want to spend a bunch of money on pots, not knowing how these guys would do in a transplant because they've lived together for quite some time. So, and I don't know if transplanting them will harm any of their roots, or I just don't know much about any of these plants. So I didn't want to spend a bunch of money on pots. So I just bought smaller ones to handle the root ball of each individual one for now. And if they do well, then I will definitely find them their forever pot, or the pot until they outgrow it, and you know, their home here in the house. So my idea is, these are obviously a low light plant, or low light bright room plant. I've had it in my office for about a month now. I wanted to test it out and see if it did well, and it did in fact do well, other than the fact of lack of water because the root ball is so bound. So it's that everything is not getting watered, enough water. There's no breathing room. So I know that these plants can all live in my office, and that's where I intend to put them all right now. I would love to take this English ivy and start training it into a topiary of some sort when it gets a little bit bigger. It does have some trailing leaves on it, so that's kind of cool. But for now, we're just gonna put it in the pot and see how they do. I know the pot though is pretty resilient, so I think it'll do well. But we're gonna get this taken care of, and then we're gonna walk around and talk about some of the other plants that I have here in my home. Okay, we're outside now. I hope you guys can hear me okay. I have a fan going because it is so humid and hot. But this is a size pot that I got. They are the 6-inch terracottas. I think that'll be sufficient. So I think the first thing I have to do is just take this whole thing out of the container that it's in and gently break it apart. I'm going to be using the Miracle-Gro potting mix today. All right, let's give this a shot. It in fact is very root bound. Okay, I did in fact soak these. It's just such a porous material, you want to make sure that you do that before planting in them. Otherwise, when you water, they will suck up all your water. Here they are, guys, and I couldn't be more thrilled that I got 5 potted plants out of that one, and I'm sure they are very happy. Now this one I ended up, you saw me pulling out, I thought I bought 6 pots, but I guess I only got 5. I wanted 2 of these, which I in fact have, but I ended up having to put them together. So I stripped them of a bunch of the soil and just left the roots. So I'm hoping it does okay. It's definitely got more room to breathe than it did in the other pot. So I'm hopeful, but I have, I'm just so happy. I gave them all water, got them all watered in. And look at how this one is already trailing. I just love that. And you couldn't tell how beautiful that was when it was crammed in there with the others. And the English ivy as well is doing so good. And like I said, this one eventually will be a topiary. So I need to maybe start training it. I don't know. I might let it get a little bit longer before I start training it, but I definitely want this to be a topiary in my office because boy, I've got plans for my office, you guys. My office is definitely going to become a library / office soon. Ernie is working on a project right now. I'm going to give you a sneak peek. He is working on my entryway and he's on a work meeting right now, so a little break, but I'm starting to prepare for the office / library, and I know that in there I want to have lots of plants and other things, but this is a great start. So anyways, lovely. Look at the begonia. I just feel like they all can breathe now. I feel like they're all just so, they're like thanking me. Thank you, thank you. I like that. It's like my little nursery. Keep in mind, this isn't all going to stay here like this. But I want them, I had this ZZ upstairs in my guest room, but I kept forgetting to water it. So I brought it down here and it's doing so much better. It just loves it here. So you see I have all these windows up here and then this big one up over here. So they get a lot of light, natural light. And I'm a fan of lamps, so I keep lamps on in my house. So I'm going to keep them here because this is where they're used to being. They're used to the light here, and hopefully they will continue to thrive. But I would show you behind me what I'm planning on doing, but with the library, but it's, I have another project for another video, and I don't want to give any secrets away. Things in here that are just for, I'm collecting for my project in here. So anyways, I think those look really good. I really like that. I like having plants all around me. I think that they add life to a room. So let me see if I can't get, you know, that's pretty. Looks really good. I mean, a little cluttered, but like I said, they're not all going to stay there. That buffet is not going to be staying there either. So, but for now, they have a home. So this is my philodendron. This is actually the proper name for this one is Swiss cheese plant. And it's a split leaf philodendron. So they start off like this, and then they mature into this here. I have had nothing but the most amazing luck. This is actually fill number 2. I have another upstairs and they love my house. I think this is a bulletproof plant. If you are somebody who is not, who doesn't feel like they have a green thumb, then you absolutely want to get yourself one of these. They just are so low maintenance and they look beautiful. What's interesting about this one is you can see it reaches for the light. So I have 2 windows here. This one I always have fully open, as you can see. This one over here, I always have the blinds fully open, and it's very bright over here on this side of my room. This one I keep not so open because my neighbor's office window is right there and he works from home. So I don't want him to feel like I'm looking at him and so on and so forth. So I don't keep those open every day like that. But you can see that Phil is reaching for the light. So it's just such a magnificent plant. It's my first time ever owning. I have Phil number 1 upstairs, and they're just amazing, you guys. They're just amazing. So I love them. This one doesn't need any attention right now. This one is doing good. I do feel like eventually we are going to have to somehow transplant this. I'm not sure. These plants do have a tendency to root at the top. So yeah, we may end up having to transplant this into a bigger pot. I just didn't think it was going to take off. I don't know if those of you who watch my channel remember me getting this for Mother's Day, but it was not this big. And it is just loving life here. So yeah, lovely plant to own, definitely. The next plant that I have here in my living room is my giant bird of paradise. I don't know that this one will ever give me any actual flowers, but it is the most amazing thing, and it loves it here. It has gotten so much taller, and my vision is that it grows tall and takes over this whole wall. That is my vision, and it has definitely put on some growth since getting it. Now this is a low light to bright, plant. If you're going to grow it indoors, it gets, like I said, it's in my family room where my philodendron, it's directly across from my philodendron. So it loves it here. It just sprouted this new leaf, is starting to unfold. Isn't that interesting how it does that? It puts out a shoot, and then the shoot just slowly starts to unfold, and you get these big, beautiful leaves. And I just love it. I think this one will do well here in this pot for a very long time. Again, we may have to transplant it in the future when it gets too big, but for now, it's living its best life here, and we really, really enjoy having it. Like I said, once it gets bigger, it's going to be amazing to see. Now this is interesting. It started sprouting these little mushrooms all over. I don't think that they're harmful. I'm actually going to identify them and see. So the best known, it's a family member of the shiitake. I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't something that was going to be harmful to my plants. I did just recently purchase 2 fiddle fig leaf trees. I have never had any luck with these. They were a good price. They were $29 a piece, and I would say they're probably about 3.5 feet tall. So I had purchased them to put on my tables up against the windows because they like a lot of bright light. But I since have put my lamps back there, so I moved them over here, and they're getting plenty of light. And I'm keeping them watered and doing all the things. They don't like their feet to stay wet. I usually will fill around, and these actually do need to get water, so I will water these today. But they seem to be doing really well. I haven't had, this damage on this leaf, it came this way. It's not caused by me, but it seems to be doing really well. And the other one, which is here next to Phil, same. I don't feel like it's hating its life. These are probably a little bit more on the different color of green than I would like. I'd like them to be more this color, and that could be because they need to be watered. So again, some of the damaged leaves, they came like this from the store, so I'll just pull that off. But other than that, they seem to be doing really well. I feel like this is a really easy plant for some and really hard for others. they don't really like a whole lot of attention. They want you to find them a bright home, and then they want to be watered and, you know, and that's it. They don't want to be bothered too much. So I've just been leaving them alone, like I said, and watering them, and I make sure that they're in a room where they get plenty of light. So my intention is to have these grow super tall as well and take over the corners of my family room eventually. So over in this corner, nice and tall there, and then one over in that corner because that side of the French door does not open, so it would be beautiful right there. Pause and show you this beautiful arrangement I made. This is a mix of grocery store flowers that I saw on sale. I went and clipped some Coleus, and I was playing with this color palette because this is what I'm looking for fall and Christmas, you know. Probably not so much on the reds, that'll be more for Christmas, but I'm playing with different, you know, color palettes to use during the fall. I just think fresh flowers and fresh arrangements are so perfect in a house, and I love that I can walk out my front door and clip Coleus. Even just a beautiful vase with lots of Coleus would be gorgeous. But I just have them in water in my vintage pot here that I got thrifting, and it looks so beautiful. I just love it. This is my beautiful peace lily, which is also known as a white cells and the spath flower, but we call it a lily. And the blooms come and they die pretty quickly. This one needs to be taken off. The only thing I don't like about having this as an indoor plant is that, as you can see here, the flower here lets off a powdery residue onto the leaves, so I have to come in here every once in a while and wipe them down. But it loves its life in here. I will tell you that this room doesn't get a whole lot of light right now. It feels like it because I have the light on in here, but that is really the true amount of light that it's getting, and it really is doing very well here. I did have it pushed over into the corner, but I felt like it was getting too big for the corner. It's doing so well, it's growing so quickly, and look at all the new growth, you know, that I'm getting here. I'm getting all these new leaves just unfolding everywhere in this plant, all over on all sides. Even over here, I even have a new bloom coming up here. It just loves it here. And oh, there's one that was hiding. It loves it here, and it's just a beautiful indoor plant to have in your home. I think a lot of people won't buy plants that have flowers because they're afraid that they're not going to do well in the house, but I can assure you that if you can put this in a bright room, even with low light, I think that you will have success just like I have with this plant. So we really love it. The next plant I have here in my bedroom is called a cat palm. You guys might know it as a cascade. I think it's a cascade palm, a cataract palm, a Mexican hat palm. There's all kinds of different names for it. Gonna do well. This one is thriving here. It's right by a window. Because it has not gotten big enough or too big for the area. It's more of a narrow shape. I do have a leaf here that I need to go ahead and clip off, and every once in a while you'll get that. You'll get a leaf that dies. Doesn't mean anything's wrong with your plant. It just means that it's ready to go. So I just come in and clip those off when that happens. Also the pot, I think this one, definitely, I will probably transplant within the next 2 or 3 months into a much bigger pot, because I feel like the root system in this is a little bit more aggressive than any of my other ones. And so we're going to have to get a bigger one, because my intention for this plant here, take over this whole corner, is, you know, what I want. I just want it to be beautiful in this corner. So, but that's it. That is a tour of my plants. I just gained 5 new ones. I'm becoming quite the indoor plant person. and super excited to watch these grow and take on a whole new life of their own without having to share a house with the others. Hey guys, I'm not sure what happened to the last clip. It was supposed to be the ending clip. I don't know if I deleted it or what happened, but anyways, here I am. It is probably about 5 days later since I transplanted all of these guys, so I guess it's good that I didn't end it then so that I could give you guys an update. They are all still very perky and happy. They all are doing so good. I did move the English ivy into my entryway and it's doing lovely over there. They're all doing really well. I hope you guys enjoyed my plant tour. I thought that it would be fun to show you guys all the different plants that I have growing in my home. I want to add to my collection for sure. I'd like to add some trees in my home, and I say trees, I mean trees. Yeah, I have 9-foot ceilings or 10-foot ceilings. I don't know, I have big ceilings, so I would love to get some things to just really envelope the room. And so if you guys have any suggestions on indoor plants that you think I might like based on what I've told you and what I've shared with you, I would love to know. I think adding plants to your home just adds a whole different vibe to the home. I love walking in and seeing how people decorate with plants, and you know, just seeing different types of plants, the leaf structures and all of those things. And I love, that's exactly what I think this little area does, is every single leaf is different on here. But they all go so well together. I'm very happy. So I want to encourage you to buy those containers with a bunch of different plants in them because, hello, I got myself a little indoor garden, a brand new garden. So I love it. I love it so much. This is going to make me so happy during winter to have these guys to take care of. And I want many, many more. So anyways, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's plant tour, and we will see you in the next video. Bye!